Hey guys, Marcingan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk and speculate a little bit about the new reversible exchange mechanic that was mentioned during the anniversary pre-stream that we saw a couple of days ago, where they revealed the 3 headliners for the anniversary part 1, which is of course this new Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Super Vegeto, the Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and the Blue Evolution Vegeta. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the naming of the character is very different, and that's what we're going to talk about primarily here, because the character, they describe it as Reversible Exchange, but they also mention in the video, which I think confused a lot of people, including myself, that when you transform into Vegito, they did say, I think the wording was specifically, you can be Vegito for a certain amount of turns. So I'm assuming it's going to be set, although of course there's the potential that something you do before you fuse could have an effect on how many turns it could be. That's obviously something we'll have to remain to see until we see their kit. But it's the reversible exchange part that is the interesting thing, because obviously in terms of like, I keep using the word the lore when I describe this, because maybe it's the Souls player in me, but I guess I just mean like the in-universe, like the way the world works, like the in-canon sort of stuff. It wouldn't make sense for you to fuse into Vegito, unfuse, and then be able to fuse again. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but it doesn't seem like that will be very likely. So realistically, the description of the reversible exchange seems to imply that you're going to be able to switch back and forth between Vegeta and Goku. So obviously this is the one art that they showed, and you can see we've got Goku in the foreground and Vegeta in the background. And now I'm assuming there's another art that we haven't seen, which is going to have Vegeta in the foreground and Goku in the background, because obviously we've seen the Vegito art, which is the post-fusion, but yeah, there's no indication of what the Vegeta like art's going to be, or what kind of, you know, how that transformation is going to work. Now, what could be very interesting, especially because, you know, we saw a character for the worldwide, the Tech Broly, that has the turn 1 active skill. What would be very interesting for this card as a basis is if you are able to exchange, I guess it would only be a maximum once, so you just don't keep doing it over and over again, in case that makes some like weird shenanigans, I'm not sure. But I would assume it's going to be a thing, or it would be cool if it's going to be a thing, where literally every turn you have the option to swipe up and switch between Goku and Vegeta. And then the cool way to design that would obviously be to make like one of the units really, really strong defensively, and then the other one really strong offensively. So if you jump into an event and you've got a sort of weird turn 1 rotation where you don't really have a great tank, you can obviously be in the defensive form, whoever that's going to be. And then let's say you get to the next turn around, like turn 3, and your big slot 1 tank was in, say, slot 7, so now they're making their first appearance on turn 3. You can now put them in slot 1, put these guys in slot 2, and switch them over to whoever is the offensive-based unit. Or maybe they get like a special bonus, and it's kind of, you're incentivized to exchange them every turn. Like maybe they have an effect, like say, for example, Goku has an effect that like on Super, he will buff specifically the Vegeta form of the card for like 4 turns, which obviously means even if you floated him off, if you then switch into Vegeta on the next turn, he then has a buff because you switched. And if you switch every turn, you keep getting a buff for the other one. Or you can stay in that form. Maybe they can do 2 different styles, or like 2 different things within the passive, where it's like, if you exchange on the next turn, the other character gets a certain buff. If you remain in that form on the next turn, you get a different buff, for example. That would be very interesting. Now, one of the main reasons why we know that this is going to be a slightly different thing is because they show the character's name on the screen, right? Just like how we know they showed that Vegeta, the Blue Evolution, is just a Blue Evolution Vegeta, which means with UI Goku in the art, he must have a unit super attack. This unit, as you can see, is named Super Saiyan Goku plus Super Saiyan Vegeta brackets Angel. So the thing that I wanted to highlight is if we jump over to another Goku and Vegeta card that are an exchange unit, which is the one from the planet Namek, as you can see, any exchange unit, this is the same, I think the most recent one we had release as an exchange unit was the Namek Saga LR Gohan and Piccolo. The unit is called Vegeta / Goku. So if it was going to be this like Buu Saga one, it would be Super Saiyan Goku slash Super Saiyan Vegeta brackets Angel. But instead, it's Super Saiyan Goku plus Super Saiyan Vegeta brackets Angel, which is a completely new naming format that we have not seen in the game. The other example that I guess we could bring up is, I mean, I guess, you know, most people are probably aware of this and you can look it up in the game yourself. But if we jump over to the Pure Saiyans page very quickly here and then just open these guys because they are the Buu Saga one. Didn't have to be them specifically. But obviously when the card is the two characters at the same time, it's Super Saiyan Goku and with the like ampersand symbol, which means and. So it's Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta. Whereas this new unit is Super Saiyan Goku plus Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel, which is certainly very interesting and is a new naming convention. So, like I say, as of yet, we don't have any confirmation about what the reversible exchange mechanic actually is and how it works. I would imagine with the general average lengths of events, it wouldn't make sense for them to only be able to exchange like every couple of turns, because then realistically, especially with the fusion on the table as well, we don't know what the fusion condition will be when you'll be able to fuse into Vegito. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the condition for them switching between Goku and Vegeta, if that is indeed how the mechanic works. It doesn't make sense for it to be restricted for like multiple turns, because obviously you're also going to eventually want to transform into Vegito. And, you know, even with some of these new events, like a couple of the new Red Zone stages are or can be decently long, especially with like, you know, the Cell one, if you don't use a domain to get rid of his damage reduction, that can go for like, you know, 10 plus turns potentially. But you don't want to get like a couple of turns as Goku, a couple of turns as Vegeta, and then a couple of turns of Vegito, and then the event's over, if the whole point of the mechanic is that you're supposed to be able to switch between them relatively frequently, right? So I imagine it is going to be a possibility to exchange between Goku and Vegeta every single turn, and then of course once you've done a certain thing, it'd be interesting if there was a restriction. I imagine people would probably hate this, but if you could exchange every turn, I suppose it wouldn't be as bad. But I wonder if the fusion condition to fuse into Vegito is that you have to do a certain condition with both forms of the card. Now, that sounds like it could be terrible, but they could make it something very easy, right? Like if it was available to fuse into Vegito once Goku and Vegeta have both super attacked, like twice or something, right? Because then obviously if they have additionals in their kit, or you get additional from the hidden potential, Goku could super twice in his first turn anyway, then you exchange into Vegeta, he supers twice, and then on the next turn you can fuse into Vegito if you want to. Now obviously that does make it a bit more tricky, and of course if you get stuck with like Goku does one super, so then on the next turn you super again, then you get to exchange into Vegeta on the next turn, and then he only does one super. So obviously that could end up being a nightmare. So I'm not suggesting that that is what it should be, but it would be interesting if there was a condition that had to be fulfilled by both characters. But all of that remains to be seen. Now, the other interesting thing that has been discussed is that because this is a whole new way of classifying like a dual unit with the plus symbol, one of the big things that we've been asking for in Dokkan for years as an update is a very similar thing to what Legends does, which is of course allowing the unit to have the combined categories. Because when we look at an exchange unit, because the unit is technically Vegeta and then exchanges into Goku, the character is on categories like Vegeta Family, Inhuman Deeds, Planetary Destruction, not on any of the Goku categories like Bond of Friendship, obviously Goku Family, Turtle School, a couple of categories that the unit would be on if it was a Goku instead. And so even when you exchange into Goku, you're still on these categories. So even when you're in the Goku form, a unit on the team that say buffs Vegeta Family characters will obviously still be buffing this character because that is the category that it is in. Whereas when we see a character that is Goku and Vegeta together, they only get the categories that both of those characters are in. So there's no Goku Family or Vegeta Family, Gifted Warriors, Worthy Rivals, Turtle School, none of that stuff. So the interesting thing would be if this new classification of unit with this reversible exchange is able to have the tags for both categories, which is something that Legends has done since its inception. So I brought up these two units. This is another Vegeta. Obviously, they're in like the Super Saiyans category because they transform as Vegeta. I brought up these two cards. These guys were like the rival cards from 2021. They are like the Goku Vegeta, what is it, the rock paper scissors thing. Although they're from different times. I thought they would release at the same time, but I might have been wrong. Either way, they are like the counterparts to each other, I thought. But these guys are the only Super Saiyan 1 Goku and Vegeta from the Buu Saga that I could find. It's definitely the only Vegeta, I think. But obviously these guys, especially because he is Angel Vegeta, so that means we've got categories like Resurrected Warriors, Vegeta Family, Gifted Warriors, Other World Warriors, Worthy Rivals. Wouldn't be Battle of Fate if it's from the fight from with Buhan, but if it is the Angel Vegeta, then obviously Time Limit is on the table. And then of course Goku has Goku Family, Kamehameha, Turtle School, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, Bond of Parent and Child. In fact, surely, yeah, Vegeta from that time, yeah, should have Bond of Parent and Child. He does. So if these two combined had the categories of both of the characters, obviously that would be super cool, because we have a lot more teams that we're able to put these guys on. Being able to just throw them on a Goku Family or Vegeta Family, like the fact that it would be on both categories. It'd be really interesting as well, because for something like a Super Saiyans team, you could throw like both the Xeno Super Saiyans from the Heroes celebration on the team, because obviously they both individually buff their own like family team. So of course both of them would buff this unit if they were on rotation with them, which would be kind of fun. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How do you think the reversible exchange mechanic is going to work? And do you think we are finally going to get characters that have both the categories for a joined forces unit? Because that could be a huge thing if we do finally get that. And of course, the interesting thing will be if that is finally a thing that's added into the game, like how many more of these type of characters will we get? How regularly will they release? Because of course, it's a big thing that happens sometimes where these big characters come out for the anniversary or a big celebration with a new mechanic, and then we don't see another character come out with that mechanic for like a few months. So it's like, will part 2 have a character that also has a reversible exchange? Who knows? So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Give me all your thoughts on how you think the mechanic will work, what you think the case will be with the categories. Obviously, it would be very cool to get the they both get, you know, both the Goku and Vegeta categories, but obviously at the same time, if that isn't the case, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's not something that Dokkan has ever done before, even though of course it would be very cool if they did. So let me know everything you think down below in the comment section. What do you think the exchange mechanic will work like? What will the conditions be? What do you think Vegeto's fusion will be? I did see some people worried about this. People have mentioned this a few times now, especially in the streams. I really don't think they'll make the same mistake as the worldwide. Like, I do not think the Vegito fusion condition is going to be really bad and awkward, but I guess we'll wait and see. So let me know everything you guys are thinking about this unit down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.